if you're a subscriber to this channel, you might want to come over to the front page, find this little bell icon, click it, and make sure it's turned on so you'll be notified of every new video. YouTube's got this all messed up. You can see the things coming off of the bell when it's on and when it's off. So just make sure it's turned on so you get notified. Just do it! Dang it. Alright, well, welcome back to the show again, folks, and thanks for coming back again. We're going to work on this Gypsy Jazz guitar, Selmer guitar, whatever you call it where you live. I put the bridge back on it and tuned it back up. It's not quite up to pitch yet. I think it's a whole step flat, maybe. But just stuck the bridge back on, and I had to put it back on. If you watched that last video, and I took the bridge off too soon, prematurely took the bridge off. I had to put it back on and tune it up to get measurements here, so I know how much to drop this back here, because I had no idea. I could have guessed at it, I guess, from what the measurements on the last video of this guitar, but I didn't want to guess at it. So I put the strings back on it, or the bridge back on it, tuned it up to pitch, and we'll get measurements here. You know, whatever we want this to drop, whatever the action is, however much we want it to drop, we know we have to remove double that amount back here, twice the amount. Well, there's a problem with that. That's just like with dreadnought guitars when you're lowering your actions, you know, and you're lowering the saddle. This is the same thing, but there's a problem. And you guys watch me fix enough guitars, so I thought we'd have a little fun with this one and do something a little bit different. I'm going to let you guys fix this guitar, okay? I'm going to show you the problems. I'm not going to say what I would do to fix it, like I usually screw up and do. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm just going to let you all make the call. And whoever votes the most one way or the other is the way I'll fix it. But you all really be fixing it, telling me what to do. I know how to do it, and I know how I would do it. But we got two choices here, and I'm going to give them both to you, show them to you, bring you over closer, explain everything, and you make the call. So let's get right into it. Let's do it! First, I want to show you how high this action is. Look at this. Check that out, how high that action is, man. Now I noticed, wow, look at that. Oh, here's 12th fret. I'll measure it in a minute, tell you exactly what it is. But look at the fretboard. It looks to me like that fretboard is dropping down away from the strings. Now you can see here, I think you can see it, the top is not sunk, top of the guitar. See, it looks perfectly flat. But check this fretboard out. See, you're coming down the fretboard. I can hold the camera this right. Coming down the fretboard, it starts to drop away right there. See, it looks okay there. It runs along with the strings. The strings are moving farther away. And then right there, the whole fretboard, it just looks like it drops. I hope the camera's picking that up. Look at the very end of the fretboard. It looks like it's dropped way down. But the guitar top is not sunk, as you can see there. Perfectly flat. That's an engineering design flaw, I think. Alright, let's get on with it. Now I think we all agree that we cannot remove material from the top of this bridge, because as the last video only showed, we took it off and it was indeed hollowed out, just like I remembered. This is all hollow right here. If you watched the last video, you've seen that. And I don't know how thick that is, but you know, it'd be better to not risk it taking anything off the top, I think. If y'all tell me to take it off the top, I guess I will, but I don't recommend that. Okay. So it's tuned up, it's not up to pitch, but it's up close enough. The way I do this, instead of measuring in 64ths, I measure in thousandths, okay? Because it's just easier to figure. You don't have to stand around and figure. And it's 130 thousandths high. That's high action, man. At the low E, 12th fret. 130 thousandths high. The high E at the 12th fret, this only goes up to 140 thousandths. and it's more than that. Oddly enough, the high E string is higher than the low E string is. That one's 130 thousandths. We'd like to see that 80 thousandths, or roughly in that ballpark figure. That's a difference of 50 thousandths. Now we know to lower this, make it 50 thousandths lower, we got to double that amount and take off of what normally would be the saddle back here. We don't have no saddle. And I vote we take it off of the bottom of these bridge legs. You all know that this is a separate piece from this. I say, I vote we take it off of the bottom of the bridge legs. 100 thousandths off of that, man. That's going to really lower that bridge way down. This open area in the center here. Hold up there where you can see it. See, it's open right there. Across there. That's going to be practically not exist, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you right here. What's that? That ought to do it. Alright. So we got to take 100 thousandths off of it. Okay? What do we have to work with? I need something. This will work. I'm going to scratch the guitar. Oh, that's better. 195 thousandths. 195 thousandths. That's how much we got to take off of it. I mean, that's how thick it is. That's not what we got to take off. That's how thick it is. I think that's upright. Yeah. It's backwards in the camera to me, so now let's check this other side. I'm measuring it right at the bridge. 195 thousandths. I hope that's right, man. It looks backwards to me in the camera. Wow, that's weird. Okay, we got to take 50 away from that. Now, to give you an idea of what that's going to do. So if I hold that down there and look, man, you can't even see that 100 thousandths mark. You can't even see the number, I don't think. Oh, you can't even see the number. Yeah, I can too, barely. So we're going to be removing a whole lot of this bottom off here. My original idea was to just lay sandpaper there and, scoot the bridge back and forth on that to keep the shape of the legs, like the top. But the top's flat, so, no big deal there. We can do it on a sander. Just keep it even and flat. And you take 100 thousandths off of that. That was 100 thousandths I was showing you there. Right there is 100 thousandths where my thumb is. Then when I hold it, well, I mean the mark is way down lower than that. When I hold this up here, well, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Now maybe you can see it. My thumb is right over the 100 thousandths mark, okay? And then it covers the mark up. I can't even see it because that's way thicker than 100 thousandths. But there you can see. Maybe you can see the mark on the thing. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's going to be really, it's going to take a lot of material off both sides of those legs right there to get this down low enough to make any difference. It could come within 80 thousandths up here. So we have another option. Hold on, I'll tell you about it. Now another thing, keep in mind where these two little side pieces are. This one and the one over here on the other side. They're not going to match up right here anymore. We take 100 thousandths off of this. This is going to set way down lower. There's going to be a lip right there on both sides of the bridge. Unless we sand these little things down too, and I'm not going to do that with them glued to the guitar anyway. I have shaved some bridges and got pretty close to the finish, but this is really close right here. But yeah, when we drop this down, you see there's going to be a really between those two and the two on the other side. It's going to look funky. You're not going to notice it at a glance, but when you get looking at it, you're going to see that. Hold on. Like I say, this is not up to pitch, but I've got a capo on the first fret. I'm going to note down here about where I think the truss rod ends at. I've got a 12 thousandths here, and 7th, 8th, and 9th fret. It's lifting the string, and it's skimming it there. You could probably get by on that, but really would like to see a little bit more neck relief in it than that. I don't know if you can hear that skimming the string or not. It needs more neck relief put into it. The other option I was thinking about was taking more neck relief out of it. A lot of the old timers used to loosen the strings and crank the truss rod tight and then put backward bow in the neck. That'll pull that action down, and it's going to still be terribly high down here. It'll be extremely high right there. But by tightening the truss rod really tight, we can bring the action down, make the guitar playable up here, or we can meet it halfway. Instead of taking 100 thousandths off of the bridge back here, take, say, I don't know, 50 thousandths, 60 thousandths, whatever you guys tell me, meet it halfway and do this with the truss rod. It's still going to be awful high down here, but you couldn't play it down there anyway. So there's like 3 options. One is to meet it halfway. Just take half of the material from the bridge, tighten the truss rod up, as much as we can, and get the action down as low as we can. Still got to work on the nut first fret action too. Or we can set it up right, put the correct amount of relief in it, which is going to make the action even higher, the way it is now, and take all 100 thousandths off of the bridge back here to drop this down 50 thousandths. And land on 80 thousandths or thereabouts, around there. Okay, so recap. This is 130 thousandths action right here. We want to see 80. That's a difference of 50. We have to double that amount that we want the strings to come down and remove from the bridge back here, the saddle, the bridge in this case. So that's 100 thousandths, guys. That's a lot of material coming off of there. The very end of this bridge right here is not much more than 100 thousandths. What did I say it was? 195 is what it said on the calendar, but yeah, I don't know. That's just really going to be thin, and it's going to be a big lip right there. So the 2 options we have is either do that and try to get the right neck relief into it with the right action height. I'll probably have to fine tune it a little bit after we bring it down 100 thousandths, or the other option, bring it down maybe 50 thousandths or 60 or so, or even 40, and just crank the truss rod up and forget about playing in this area right here, because the strings and the fretboard are very, very rapidly going to separate from about here, about the body back. So, and then we got to fix the first fret action too. I didn't measure that. Let me measure that and see what it is. I did measure it, but I forget. So it is measured again. I like to see 16 to 18 thousandths on all guitars. Here's 18. This is 18. I can wring the string out with it under there. Same with the 5th. Same with the 4th. You can see feeler's gauge is under the string and it rings out, and that's 18 thousandths thick. So that's got to come down. Maximum of 18 for me. I like to see 16 even. Same thing there. Put the thing under it. Same there. Same there. All 6 strings are more than 18 thousandths. That's way too high, man. So probably what I'm going to do is just crown the 0 fret. I may have to cut the slots in the nut deeper to allow for the strings to rest on the 0 fret after I knock it down to bring first fret action down. Could remove the 1st fret, but that would throw the intonation out. That's a pretty good distance from intonation to the the nut. But with this guitar with a floating bridge, we could correct the intonation by moving the bridge wherever it needs to be. And I think it's going to be offset from these two pieces then. But it's a lot of stuff. It's your guys' call. I'm going to let you call it. Tell me what to do on this one, and you're going to be fixing it. Hold on. You better keep your back to the wall at all times. Whatever you guys tell me, if you want to leave the nut first 0 fret alone, I think it ought to be lower. Tell me what to set it at. Tell me if I should knock the first the 0 fret out and use the nut to set the nut action. We can move the bridge to compensate for the intonation because of knocking the 0 fret out. Tell me if you want to take all of the material, a whole 100 thousandths off of the bridge. Set the neck relief at 12 thousandths or 10 or whatever you guys say, but set it right. Or meet it halfway and just take whatever amount you guys say off of the bridge, and maybe still go ahead and set the neck relief right. I say we crank her back, man. Take half of it. I'm not going to say. I almost messed up. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let you guys decide and tell me. So tell me what to do, and I'll get started on it, and I'll video the whole thing for your viewing pleasure. Thanks for watching. Cheers to you. Keep your backs to the wall. Take care of yourself. Nobody will do that for you. Cheers. Whoa! That guitar's hard to play. Are we off?